Well, as part of our My Empowerment series this morning, we are excited to introduce a person who definitely can and will get us motivated and going. In fact, he's going to be joining us regularly here on The Balancing Act to share his insights and help our viewers. He is known simply as Boaz, and we are delighted to have him here with us on the show this morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm excited to be here.
It is so good to see you again. I know you were talking to our crew and all of us a couple of weeks ago, and you were so inspirational. I know you're going to be doing the same thing with our viewers, stopping by regularly, hoping to empower them and get them motivated to live better lives. But before we get started with that, I do want to hear a little bit more about you, your background, and why you think viewers can benefit, Boaz, from your advice.
Thank you, Danielle. I have an interesting background that I think helps me to be able to help people like you and everybody else in our audience. My mother was from Poland and Dad from Austria, and they both left their native countries in 1935 to go to Palestine as pioneers to build a new Jewish homeland. My mother lost 4 brothers and sisters and her parents in the Holocaust, but Danielle, she had the most positive attitude of anybody I've ever known.
Even through all of that.
Exactly, exactly. So I teach my audiences all over the world. I do over 100 seminars a year all over the world. That attitude is everything. It's not a part of the thing. It's not a majority. It is everything.
One of the things I like about you, obviously, you have such enthusiasm, which is contagious, by the way, and you always seem to have such a positive attitude. The mornings, though, are always so difficult for a lot of people to get started, especially, let's say, if they've had a bad day the day before, right, or they're facing a really tough day with the boss.
Yes.
But you say the first 15 minutes of every day are really what helps set the tone, right, for the rest of the day. Explain that to our viewers.
Absolutely. Daniel, you ever notice that some days you just feel better than others?
Sure.
And there's no specific health issue going on. You just mentally, someday, feel more up than another.
Sure.
Well, research has been done that the first 15 minutes of every day, what we do when we first wake up, makes all the difference in the world as to how the rest of the day goes. Like at a racetrack, you know, when the horses take off, the first few seconds are the most important. Or in an automobile race, the first few seconds are very important. So the first 15 minutes of every day tend to set our mood for the entire day. And most people don't even think about it.
And so what do most people do
well,
to get their day started?
I know you used to be a newscaster, and
Sure.
so did I.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, did they tell you to go find positive stories all the time?
Never. Well,
No.
Almost never.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They told us to look for murder and mayhem.
Yeah, right.
I mean, really, because
Right.
that's what people watch and listen to. And so most people, when they wake up in the morning, they read the morning paper, they watch television news, and they watch or listen to radio. And most of the news is full of negative stuff.
It is. Okay.
And we put that into our minds, and that dictates the whole rest of the day.
It does, and it sets the tone, and sometimes it's not a very positive tone. But what if we want to change that? What if we want to live more positively and start with that first 15 minutes? What can we do to get started on the right foot?
Okay, so the first thing is to turn off radio or television news, stop the paper for a while. After the first 15 minutes, at the right time, they'll want to turn on the Balancing Act, because that will get their day going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
You bet, you bet. But very first thing in the morning, what I suggest, no newspaper, stop it for a while. If something major happens, someone will let you know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you shouldn't be compassionate, let's say, about that famine in Africa. But excuse me, what can you do about it this morning? Later in the week, you could donate time or money, am I right?
Right.
But this morning, so what value is it for you to read that and you come to work and I do that and I feel sluggish and I'm spreading that poison to everybody? So no radio or television news in the morning, no newspaper. The first thing I suggest is put on some upbeat music. Listen to a positive CD by a famous speaker, Robert Schuller, Zig Ziglar, Boaz, whatever. But did you ever see the movie or the stage production Mamma Mia?
Yes, of course.
Now, can you listen to that music and not feel better?
No, you want to start dancing right away.
Are you the dancing queen?
You know I am.
Yes, you
Don't
are,
let me
of
show
course.
you right now.
Well,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
So anyway, you put up some upbeat music
Yeah.
because that'll get your mind going in the right direction, or listen to a positive CD.
Right. But here's the thing. Sometimes the night before, you've got so much stuff in your mind and you're thinking about things. What can we do the night before that might help us as well?
Very important and a great question, because the brain does not close down at night.
That's right.
Your mind continues to work during the night. And so what do many people do before they go to sleep? They watch the late news on television.
I did it last night. Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're programming your mind for violence. Have a nice night. And so what I suggest instead, again, put on some very easygoing music, read a nice book, put your mind in a good position to be able to relax for the night. so that you can then wake up in the morning differently.
I love that. And here's the other thing, and I'm a big believer in this, and you and I have talked about this, in positive affirmations. Tell me a little bit more about this. And I know, because I do use it in my life, how can it work for our viewers?
Affirmations are statements that we declare. All of us think at the rate of 1,500 words a minute. And so most people are doing affirmations, but backwards. If somebody says, nobody likes me, I can't find a job, I can't get a promotion, I'm not good with money, those are great affirmations in the wrong direction.
Sure.
It's like a fellow goes the wrong way on a one-way street. Somebody says you're going the wrong way. He said it doesn't matter, they're all coming back anyway. So most people are doing affirmations, but in the wrong direction. They're declaring what they don't want. So as you may recall from my seminar here, I tell people, if it's not what you want, don't say it. If it's not what you want, don't say it. So I teach people to write down positive affirmations of what they want out of life. So if someone wants to be more confident, to write an affirmation that says, I'm a confident person. If they want to be better with money, I'm an expert at managing my money. And I suggest to them to read those affirmations the first thing every morning and the last thing every night, because those are the two times the subconscious is most open to suggestion.
Well, I have to tell you, you helped get our morning off to a positive start.
Here we go.
Boaz.
Power.
Go, Boaz. Thank you so much.
You want to do the dancing queen now?
Let's let the camera stop rolling.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
Sounds good.
Fine.
And thanks again for joining us this morning. And again, Boaz will be back soon with more advice as our My Empowerment series continues. But you can also get his weekly power notes delivered directly to your inbox. To sign up, just go to thebalancingact.com and click on the Boaz link. By doing so, you will also receive his daily success formula for free.